Hey y'all, thanks for tuning in. Glad you could make it. Today's project, we are making a poseable weighted cactus. And they are so adorable. Check this out. They're fairly easy to make, and they do take a little bit of time, about an hour or 2 or 3. But they are so cute, so adorable, and a great thing to add to your booth at your next market. Thank you to all of the new subscribers. I am so happy to have you at my channel. I cannot wait to show you all the things that I've got coming up. So let's get into today's project. For this tutorial, you will need crochet hooks. I have a 4mm and a 6mm. You'll need a pair of tweezers, safety eyes, a lighter, a darning needle, a stitch marker of some kind, something to help stuff small spaces. This is just a broken pencil, a pair of scissors. You will need marbles, and these are from Dollar Tree. They're just the flat aquarium marbles, or in the floral department. And you'll need 50 of those. You will need some type of glue. You need 15 pipe cleaners, and they can be any color. You will need a little bit of black yarn for the face and a little bit of white yarn for the eyes. This is Posh yarn from Joann's. You will need the cactus color, and I am using this green from Temu. I over-ordered, and so I have an abundance, so we'll be using it a lot. And then we have the hot pink, that is the Posh yarn from Joann's. I also have a couple of scraps of fabric that have a hole cut in them. This is to secure the safety eyes. Some stuffing and some tape of some kind. This is just floral tape. And then you will need the pot color. And this is blanket yarn. I believe it's Bernat. You will also need a little bit of the dirt color for the sand. Okay, we'll start with the pot color. Whichever color you want to have for the pot of your cactus. And we're using the 6mm crochet hook. We're going to start with a magic ring. And we're going to put 8 single crochet into the magic ring. Okay, row 2, and you will have 16 stitches when you're done. I use an invisible increase. Okay, we want this flat. The next row will be a single crochet and an increase. Will be a single crochet and an increase. The yarn is not sliding very good. Row 5 is a single crochet and an increase. Row 6 is a back post stitch. Back post stitch in each stitch around. You do that, come up from the back, hook that post, drag your yarn through, yarn over and pull through. Go up from the back, grab the post, yarn over and pull through. Okay, when you get back around, this makes this little edge on it. It will be the bottom of our pot. So now, for the next 5 rows, it is just a single crochet in each stitch. I will meet you back here when I have completed the 5th row. Okay, and here is our 5 rows completed, and the next row is a double crochet in each stitch. And I will meet you back here when I have this finished. Okay, when you get to the last stitch, I do a half double crochet and a slip stitch just to make my pot a little bit more even. I chose this because of the texture. I wanted the pot to be a little bit chunkier than the plant. So there's our pot. I hope yours was easier than this one. And then you are finished with this crochet hook. Okay, we're going to start with the cactus color, and we're going to make the fingers. We're going to start with the magic ring, and we are going to put 8 single crochets into the magic ring. And now for the next 8 rows, it is a single crochet in each stitch. For rows 2 through 9, it is a single crochet in each stitch. You can use a stitch marker if you like, but since there's no variations and it's just going to make a finger, I don't use them. And here's what it looks like when you have 9 of them. And you need to make 2. This will be the pinky finger and the thumb, and then begin again. And this one has 11 rows, and you need to make 2 of those with 11 rows. Those will be your first finger and your ring finger, and one with 13 rows that is the middle finger. Okay, when you make the last finger, don't tie off. So you take this and you add your next finger to it, and I start back 1 from the end, 1 stitch from where it was finished off with my yarn behind, and I single crochet into the next 5 stitches. Okay, and at 5 stitches, I pick up the longest finger for the middle finger, start back 2 stitches, and I single crochet into the next 5 stitches on this finger. Okay, then I pick up the next finger, the index finger, and start back 2nd stitch from the finish off, and we do a single crochet all the way around this one. You get here to the joint, I pick up this stitch, and in the 1st stitch of the next finger. Be careful, sometimes you'll get a hole there. The stitch count is not real crucial here. The important part is to get the holes from between the fingers. So I'm taking that last stitch and then going into stitch on the 1st finger. Okay, then you start crocheting in the round. We're going to come over here to the edge and add a stitch marker, and this is where our new round is going to be. That's where our count is going to start. Now that we have got the 1st row completed with the 4 fingers together, I've put the stitch marker on the end with the pinky finger. And now we're going to single crochet in each stitch. I have 43 stitches here, and like I said, it is not crucial that you have the right amount of stitches. I have 43. If you have 44, 45, or even 40 or 39, it's not going to matter. So in this next row, we're going to say this is round 3. We're going to single crochet to the middle of the ring finger. For me, that is 9 single crochets, and we're going to decrease. Then we're going to stitch 3 more times. and decrease. And then we're going to single crochet. Single crochet 12 and then decrease. Single crochet 5 and then decrease. And single crochet 5, and I'm back around to the beginning. For the next row, we're going to single crochet in each stitch all the way around. So we lost 4 stitches in the last round. Now for the next row, we're going to single crochet 8. And then decrease. Single crochet 4 more and then decrease. Single crochet 8 and then decrease. Single crochet 4 and then decrease. And then single crochet 6 to finish out the row. And this is what it's starting to look like. Now we're going to single crochet 12, starting the next row. Well, and then we're going to decrease. single crochet, eight, single crochet 8, and then decrease. Single crochet 5, and then decrease. Then you should single crochet 4 back to the starting point. The next row is just a single crochet in each stitch all the way around. And I have 31 stitches in this row. It doesn't matter if you have a few more or a few less. Don't panic. It's not going to change a single thing. The next row, single crochet all the way around. Okay. Now this next row, we're going to single crochet 13. And when you get around to here, if you hold this like this, spread this out a little bit, you should be able to place your thumb right into the middle of that. Your 13th stitch, and then hook into that thumb piece and crochet it right in with the next 5 stitches. Pick one up from the thumb and one from the hand and just crochet it straight in the next 5 stitches, and then single crochet in each stitch right back around to the starting point. This is what it'll look like. And next row is a single crochet in each stitch. You get over here to the thumb. You see where it's attached, right here. I'm going to hook right in to where that's attached, right into that next stitch. And then I'm going to start crocheting around the thumb. Just as if it was a part of the whole. And when you get around that, you're going to pick right up where you left off, formatting the thumb. Okay, single crochet back to the starting point and pull up a long loop. And now you need to decide whether you are making a right-handed or a left-handed cactus, because you can flip it over either way. Mine looks more like a right-handed cactus, so I'm going to put it on this side. I'm going to get my safety eyes and my glue and my lighter. And I like to just play around and see where I like the eyes. If I like them farther apart or close together. Wherever you like them. Use whatever size eyes you like. I think these are 14 millimeter, I'm not for sure. And I place them between the rows 4 and 5 and about 5 stitches between the eyes. Then I turn this right side out. Glue around the post of these eyes. I grab my scrap of fabric that's got the hole cut in the middle, and I glue that fabric to that yarn. This is an attempt to keep the safety eyes from coming out, and this glue dries really fast. And then I put the back on, and I put it on upside down because I don't like my safety eyes sinking into my project. Slide that all the way on. And then I burn the post of the safety eyes. If you get that close to your yarn, it will burn your yarn, and if the glue's not dry, the glue is flammable. And then I just flatten that out and do the same thing to the other one. Okay, well, we're letting that cool off. We're gonna prepare our pipe cleaners, and you need 5 of the pipe cleaners. I twist all these together. Fold the end down just a little bit because they do have those sharp ends on them. And I twist these together just like this. And then I grab my floral tape and I just tape the ends of these because sometimes those little wires stick through and I don't want them to stick anyone. And I just tape the ends. Then I fold those in half like that and do the next ones. And then I take two of these and I twist two of them together like this. All right, so this should be dry. I'm going to feed these pieces of pipe cleaner up to the very end of each finger. And you'll be able to feel it up there. You want it all the way to the very end. And this is going to bend because the fingers are different sizes. Okay, make sure that is up to the very end of each finger. And then I put one end of this into the thumb. All the way to the very end. I wrap that a couple of times around that post that we made. I kind of leave just a little loop in there to make for the hand for it to stand up, and then make sure that your wires are all the way to the end. And then on the back of your hand, not the palm of your hand, on the back of your hand, take bits of stuffing, and it doesn't take very much. And if you get too much, then your fingers won't bend. And you take this and push that up into your finger. And you only want to stuff the back part of your finger. And you don't want it real tight. And do that with each finger. Make sure that your wires have not worked their way out. They're still all the way to the top. Then I stuff the back of the hand a little bit, just enough to kind of cover up the wires. And then I turn it over and just lightly cover the wires in the front with a little bit of stuffing. Not very much because it makes the hand fat and you kind of want it flat. Then we're going to single crochet in each stitch. You know what, I'm going to take that out because you know that when you get to the middle of the pinky, you've made a round. It's a little bit awkward with that wire in there, but it'll be covered up here pretty soon. Okay, when you get past the thumb to the back side of the hand, under the eyes, do a decrease. Crochet over to the other eye. It's like I don't know, 4 stitches or so, 4 or 5. I'm doing 4 and decrease under that eye. And then single crochet back around to the starting point. We're going to decrease twice in each round. So this one, I want to just crochet 4 single crochets and decrease. And then I'm going to crochet all the way around to the other side and decrease in the same spot or somewhere close to it on the other side. Okay, and we're back around to the beginning. Now on this side, I want to decrease off of the side with the thumb. So I'm just going to single crochet in each stitch until I get to the thumb. And I'm going to decrease on this side of the thumb. Then I'm going to single crochet 3 stitches till I get to the other side of the thumb. I'm going to decrease again. And then single crochet back to the starting point. So I'm going to single crochet to about the middle of the hand. I'm going to decrease here. And I'm going to crochet around to the other side and decrease in somewhere near the same place. And single crochet back to the beginning. Okay, and for this last row, it's looking pretty good. So I'm just going to single crochet in each stitch all the way around. Okay, I'm going to get back around to the starting point, but that is not where I want to finish off because I'm going to have the back of the pot towards the back of the cactus. So I'm going to go a few more onto the back of this cactus till I get to the middle of it. And then I'm going to grab my sand color or my dirt color, whichever color you have chosen for that. And I'm going to add my sand color right here. I'm going to do a front post stitch. all the way around to establish the dirt mound. While I've got this exposed, I'm going to cut my green yarn and tie this off. Go back to my front post stitches. We're going to do that front post stitch all the way around. Okay, we're back to where we started. We're going to start here, and this round is going to be a single crochet and an increase all the way around. Okay, so that's starting our dirt. So we're going to, the next round, we're going to do another single crochet and an increase all the way around. And the last row will be a single crochet in every stitch all the way around. When you finish this round, check with the pot that you made, and it should be just small enough to fit inside that pot. And it's okay if it's a little smaller, because this pot will draw in. So okay, we like that. So I'm going to pull this and leave a very long tail for sewing. I'm going to cut 3 small strands to tie this into that pot to help me get it sewed in there more easily. Set those aside, and now we're going to make our little flower. And this flower can be any color you want. And I'm just going to start by making a slip stitch. I'm going to chain 4, go back into that first stitch, slip stitch that in there, right back into that first stitch. I'm not making a real fancy flower. It's just a flower. But it can be as fancy as you want it. Chaining 4 and back into that center stitch. And I'm doing this so that I have 5 petals. Slip stitch. Pull my tail. And I'm going to turn this over and knot it on the back. right like that. And you can put a different color in the center if you like. I'm just going to leave it right like this. We're going to use this little bit of white, put the details around our cactus eyes. This is really easy to do. I just put this in around the eye wherever I think it'll look good. Remember, it's got the glued fabric behind the eyes, so it's a little bit more difficult to get a needle around your eyes. Tuck those tails right in there. And then this is just a piece of acrylic yarn that I have split so that it's smaller. And I'm going to make an eyebrow over here. Faces are crucial on your amigurumi. If the face is messed up, it doesn't draw attention and it doesn't have the wow, how adorable, cute factor. So faces are extremely important. And you can make this any way you want. I like the smiley face, so I'm going to use the smiley face. I don't usually leave a nose. And then we have one more attachment. We'll put this right here on top. I'm going to take a little bit more of that stuffing and finish stuffing the hand down here. And I stuffed this down here a little bit better because it's got to stand up in this pot. So I start this pot, my yarn, and I find the back of the pot. And right across this line, right here where that double crochet meets is where I sew this at. I hook it around the base of that row of stitches and I pull this down and run it through the next stitch. Now, to make this a little easier, I have found that if you find the center of your pot and you take one of these little strands that you cut and you pull that through, and find the center of your cactus plant. Tie that around the base of that row of stitches. And then I'll turn this sideways and do the same thing. Just find the center and pull up the end. The same thing to this side. And that gives you a pretty good base to where you can keep this part even and not have it all wonky and over to one side. And then I just sew this around that base of stitches right under the double crochet. And you will have more stitches in the sand part than you will in the pot. But as long as you're going around that base, it won't matter if you have 2 stitches in the same part of the base. And I make sure that I try to hit every stitch on the sand because it's got to hold the marbles in and the stuffing. And I'm using Posh yarn to sew this in here. And it sometimes likes to shred, so pull it straight through, not going at an angle, because if you go at an angle it starts shredding this Posh yarn. When I hit this third tie, before I close this hole up, I want to add all of my marbles, and there were 50 of these. I want these in the bottom of that to give that some weight. You could use rocks. I just didn't want to wash rocks. And then I stuff the rest of the pot with the stuffing and make sure that I get that up into that hand. Because we want that hand to stand up like a real cactus. Okay, you don't want to stuff it so full that you round out your bottom, because you want to make sure that it stays flat. And then after you have that stuffed as much as you want it, then finish sewing this closed. As long as you keep going around the base of those double crochet stitches, it will stay even all the way around. Could have sworn I had more yarn than that. Now I'm going to bring this about halfway over below my stitch line. One of these that I tied on, I'm going to tie off the yarn that I stitched that in with. Okay. And here's your cactus. You can fold these down. You can add a flower or something to the bottom of these pots. Aren't they adorable?